want you to look at the front left. We got you guys inside. We're coming in.
You guys broke the front diff case again.
It's terrifying. It's scary. It's fast-paced. It's something that when we started, we had absolutely no idea what we were doing. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of emotions, but it comes together to create something special.
It's on the rear of that front spindle.
We're just having a bit of a hard time with the engine mount currently.
We can't pinpoint it to a hit. We didn't take any big hits except for the tire.
My name's Alex Fleming, and I'm the driver for Sherpa Motorsports. Getting into racing, I would say the hardest part about it is just intimidating. There's that piece of self-doubt of, can we really pull this off? Do we have the right people for this? Do we have the right skill sets? Do we have the gusto to just go do it? And honestly, that was the most terrifying part. But once you get started and you start ticking the boxes on what you need to do and start working your way through the checklist, everything starts to get a little easier. Once you do something a few times, it gets a little easier. And here we are many years later, and a lot of the stuff that used to be incredibly daunting is just a mundane task now.
My name is Hayden Dethridge, previous crew chief and current co-driver for Sherpa Motorsports. With a background in engineering, I've always been building and tinkering, and after going to my first dirt ride race and seeing an Ultra 4 vehicle, big tires, high horsepower, I knew I had to get involved and build something similar.
Sherpa Motorsports started with a group of friends with a big dream, to be honest. We knew we wanted to race at some point. We had the bug, and we found a great deal on a truck, and our business was growing at the time, and we figured it would be a good investment for some marketing efforts as far as getting the word out about what we're doing and who we are, and we've come a long way since then.
Last season was filled with lots of ups and downs between some big breaks and podiums, but it was really exciting to get my feet wet as a co-driver and start to learn that at Nationals.
We started off with a tough break out at King of the Hammers, which was defeating, but the next couple races were a big lift. We had 2 podium finishes, one of those being the longest race we've ever done to date, which really boosted our confidence. And then we finished off with Nationals, which ended in a tough break, which kind of set the mood for prep for King of the Hammers, and we knew we had a lot of work ahead of us. But coming out of a season, it's really nice to just take a step back from the car and focus on some of the other things that we love to do. It's a great reset, but Hammers prep creeps up super fast, and that prep ends up being a crunch every single year. I definitely had no idea what I was doing when we all started this. We had generic knowledge on the normal things that you would do with a car: change your oil, swap out some suspension, the fabrication mentality of building your own parts, making things that aren't meant to work. We had no idea what we were doing when we started this, but we've come so far. Looking back at that first roof rack we built in my parents' garage back in 2016, I never would have guessed the community that it has grown around it. That's what's really kicked all this off for us, and without the culture and community that's come along with Sherpa, none of this would be possible, and we're incredibly thankful for that. Now that all the prep and packing's behind us, we just got to load up and head out to Hammers and hope that everything we've done up to this point to get the car ready, to get the team ready, is going to be the ticket to get our finish this year.
We're coming into our 5th year racing Hammers and still have yet to finish. We keep coming back because we know we have what it takes, but Hammers is just full of so many unforeseen challenges.
The challenge is just always something different. It's just some of the hardest stuff you can do in a four-wheel vehicle. There's some of the lowest lows, and knowing that you're buckled in for a ton of work, like crushing our cross member, spending 15 hours in the shop building a new thing, and coming back and knowing you have to get up 2 hours after you go to bed to do the next thing you have to do. But that's what makes it what it is. Without the challenges and the tough moments, it wouldn't be as rewarding at the end of it.
I think the hardest part about Hammers is that it is an absolute roller coaster of everything thrown at you. You'll have hot days, late nights, you really don't know what to expect, and so there's just so much unpreparedness that you have to fight through at times.
4628 to Maine, do you copy?
4628, go ahead.
We just broke our second CV axle. Yeah, we're in a bad spot here. I think we're gonna have to call it.
Last year, our race ended in the second to last rock trail, which was Outer Limits. And it's a section that we had walked before but never actually ran. And we were quickly humbled by the size of the rocks. We thought we were out of the woods because it was our first time running through Kings Veto, which the year before was a 4400 line that people were excited to see 4400 cars go through because it was a challenge for them. And when we found out we were running that, we thought that was going to be our biggest challenge of the day. And after getting through that, going into Outer Limits, we soon realized that that area that we were pushing through in Outer Limits was just as big, and we mentally had finished at that point and got humbled quickly. After our tough break in Outer Limits last year, we know how important it is to get good pre-running and notes this year so that we aren't caught in the unexpected, and we know what we're signing ourselves up for in each section of the race.
45 and then 46. Yeah, this is wide open.
One of the most important jobs as a co-driver getting ready for the race is pre-running and having solid notes. There's so many turns, obstacles, and things we got to be ready for that we need to make sure the notes are 100% so that come race day there are no questions. There's so many distractions out on the lakebed, from night wheeling to fireworks to concerts and parties. It's craziness 24/7. But we got to really focus and make sure we get everything done on the car.
It just felt like the rears of the heat.
One of the biggest things that's helped us along the way is connecting with other drivers, other teams. Without the support of our sponsors and mentors and their experience, we'd be a lot further behind than we are today. One of the coolest parts of racing is the excitement that it brings everyone around us. Our loved ones at home, our spouses and girlfriends, and our team that drops everything and just wants to help us compete in this race and do a good job at it. We saw that when we have issues with this car, everyone is focused on solving the problem. They're doing research, they're asking questions, they'll stop at nothing to figure it out and have this thing back up and running as soon as possible.
I think the best thing about Hammers is the experience of everyone coming together, the camaraderie, the teamwork, the problem solving. For example, this year we smashed the skid into a rock and broke the diff and the cross member, a whole bunch of things, and the whole team came together really quickly, and with the help of Icon, we spent 15 hours and got it all fixed up.
We're pretty confident that this year is going to be the year that we can get this car across the finish line. We're going to push really hard to make it happen, and we hope that this year's the year. the car isn't running right as soon as we leave the start line?
What if the transmission breaks?
What if we run out of gas?
What if we get stuck behind traffic?
What if we get bound up and stuck in the rocks and we don't have a way to recover ourselves and we can't keep moving forward? There's so many things that can happen out here that you can't plan for all of them, but as you learn, you find ways to avoid those, you find ways to solve them if they do happen, and you find ways to just mitigate those problems. One of the coolest parts about being out here is lining up that early morning on race day, seeing all the fans walking through the lineup, people coming up talking to you, and then you just go into this like peace mode of, all right, we've done everything that we can and we're just gonna hope that our day goes as planned. And you drop the visor, you hit the start line, and everything that you're thinking about leading up to that, as soon as you hit that gas pedal and the green flag drops, goes away.
Let's go. 4628 off the line.
During the race, mentally, there are moments of chaos, but there's also these moments of just pure clarity, especially in the desert lap when you're just clicking off the miles and you're watching 100, 200 feet ahead of you, listening to your co-driver's calls. That's when I'm most comfortable. And in the rocks, when you're not having to pull winch, it's kind of the same thing. You're just watching your tire placement, you're checking your lines, using your notes, and it's just fun. You're just applying what you've been practicing all week. And when you have to kind of adapt to those challenges, that's when you really have to lock in, and especially a co-driver having to figure out what rocks to winch off of, and if they're out spotting the car, where to put the tires, and it's just a fun challenge.
We want you to look at the front left. Got you guys inside, we're coming in.
Okay, you guys broke the front diff case again. The spare diff is here. I don't know what your thoughts are on where you want to change it or if you want to change it.
Go forward.
A finish in this car especially would mean the world. We have had some of our highest highs in the race car out here at King of the Hammers. We've had some of our lowest lows. There's been tears shed, there's been insane amounts of frustration, and we keep coming back. So to finally check that box of getting across the finish line would mean everything.
Hammers is very physically challenging, especially as a co-driver, and especially in a stock class car. There's so many times you have to get out, run up with the winch line, try and hook on rocks. You're basically just hiking, but carrying things and in gear and a helmet. It is exhausting.
Go get them, boys.
I think if you have something big and daunting that you really want to go after, just make a list and start checking things off. And so many people have these big wishes and they don't do anything about it. They say, oh, that can't be me. I'm never going to be that person. But if you set yourself up for success by putting the building blocks in the right place and going after it, anything's possible. The one thing I'd have to say over our many years racing is just go do the damn thing. Whatever it is, just go do it. Figure out what makes you happy and chase after it.
started this knowing absolutely nothing, but we're still learning, we're still growing, and it's been some of the most rewarding years of my life. The journey along the way has been nothing short of incredible.